Good morning, Dubai. It is Tuesday morning. This is the Lovin Dubai show with me, Casey.
And me, Massa.
And we go through the big trending stories. Every time a visa rolls out, they are big stories. So we're going to talk about the new visas coming to Dubai soon.
And Abu Dhabi introduces new ethic codes for teachers with strict guidelines.
We are talking about 13 arrested in Sharjah over a fake rent cyber fraud network.
And David Gray is coming to Dubai. Get your tickets now.
And homeschooling in Dubai, a topic on many parents' minds. We're going to have Kanessa Muluneh speaking about the myths, the costs and daily life having homeschooling running in her home.
And it's today's rapid weather report. It's mostly sunny with temperatures ranging from 29 to 37 Celsius.
Yesterday was Monday morning. We spoke about the Asia Cup, what happened there. There was some drama after the match when there was probably some unsportsmanlike behaviour on both sides, which has a base in politics. But what we saw at the Ryder Cup over the weekend is a whole different story. Mm-hmm. First of all, if anyone was watching it and you have greater insight, please drop it because I've just seen the headlines.
Okay.
Did you watch it?
No.
Did you hear about it?
No. I'm not in that side of news, honestly.
What do you mean?
You know, I've never got any news, watched any videos that's related to golf or sports in general. If it's not the World Cup, that's it.
It's interesting though. I wouldn't see much about the Ryder Cup, but this has been all over my page. Maybe it's because it was Europe, and maybe Shane Lowry, who's an Irish golfer, was involved in Rory McIlroy, and the big incident that happened. So the Ryder Cup, again, correct me if I'm wrong because I wasn't watching, is Europe against America, and they take the top golfers. I hope I'm right. They take the top golfers, they put them all together, but it's team-based rather than individual, which is usually what golf is.
Okay.
And what happened over the course of the 4-day tournament was the Europeans got heckled atrociously. Atrociously.
How? Why? By the fans?
By the fans. And Rory McIlroy said after, you know, you can go and support something and you can shout for your team, you can support your team. There's no need to hurl constant abuse in a game which is really much about mindset, to the point, by the way, that on day 4, Erica, his wife, was walking through, someone lobbed a cup of beer at her.
You're joking.
No.
What does she have to do with anything, though? She's just watching her husband.
Mind-blowing.
Why? Is this like kind of revenge? You take it out on a woman, as someone's wife?
I don't know. So I think, and by the way, so we've got 2 videos beside us. One, you can see the beer being lobbed at Erica, and then the second one is the European team
who
I feel
bad
won.
For her.
Yeah.
Oh my God, but this is what I can never understand, okay? I know a lot of people are really passionate about sportsmanship. I know a lot of people are passionate about their teams that they support, but to the level of being super aggressive, and some people are laughing, by the way, to the point where you can, why are they laughing? I'm so confused.
There's a whole mix. So at that point, Rory had ran up to the Irish crowd who was supporting him and gave them a bit of, because he had just won, so they cheered him. But then someone obviously lobbed.
I thought people were laughing at the incident.
No, then the drink came from the back.
Oh, okay, good, because that would have been so confusing. I could never understand, because we've seen stories and stories again from different championships where when a team loses, the other side like completely loses it. They start screaming, they start attacking, they start looting, they start like breaking stuff. But I could never understand, why are we getting super emotional over a game.
But why would?
But you're not benefiting. Like your team wins. That's it.
And what do you get from? Let's just say they were hurling abuse. Like one of the chants, there was a couple of chants that they just shouted all weekend, and one of them was like "F you, Rory McIlroy," and they just chanted that, and it's like, how small are you that you are getting pleasure from hurling abuse at someone when you know it's a mindset game, and what you're trying to do is mess with their mind so your team wins.
It's fair play.
It's not fair play. It's like golf is a game.
Yeah, like the game, the whole thing. But like attacking people like that, I could never.
So upsetting.
So upsetting. Yeah.
And
behave.
And so there's a press conference after, and Rory's wife Erica was praised for kind of not kind of making a huge deal of it, and the spotlight stayed on the golf. And then so the guys made this kind of celebration video, and it was meant to be like a jokey thing, and they mentioned Donald Trump. They're like, hey, Donald Trump, like, blah, blah. And Donald Trump, fair play to him, he reposted the video and said congratulations, because it was a European win, and the win went to the Europeans over America.
I think it's a way of him telling his people, like, calm down, behave. Those are guests, technically. They're guests. They're coming to your country as guests.
Well, that's all of this, right? People going to America as guests. Speaking of going to countries as guests and staying, let's jump into our top story of the day. We are talking about new visas rolling out in the UAE. So 5 new visa categories have been announced. So if you're looking to move here or to solidify your stay here, this might be the news for you. So there are 5 categories, and the first one is specialist visas. And these are for experts in AI, experts in entertainment, experts in events, cruise ships, and leisure boats.
So next, humanitarian permits, 1-year residence permits for humanitarian cases, renewable under certain conditions. Then widow and divorce permits. So 1-year residency for foreign widows and divorcees, also renewable with approval.
Finally, visit visas are also getting an upgrade. You can now sponsor friends or relatives up to the 3rd degree, depending on your income. And then finally, the visa exploration, the business exploration visa allows those financially secure or owning a company outside of the UAE to explore new ventures locally. I think it's felt as though the umbrella on which visas in the UAE work continues to widen, and they keep looking at interesting avenues to allow people abroad to secure visas here, which means you can come and stay and work, and I think it's amazing.
And it's just making things for people easier, because there are a lot of cases involve circumstances that people want to come into the country and just make it easy, but it's good that they're taking everything into consideration. And one thing I was talking to my piano instructor about this, and she was telling me that it was that's why they love this country so much, because it was so hard for them to apply anywhere else. But once they applied here, they were immediately accepted. They were immediately welcomed in. And she's like, I could never leave. Like, her whole family is in America, and she doesn't want to go back. She's like, this is the country that's accepting us. This is the country that welcomed us from the get-go. Wow. And we feel so safe here. We feel the technology. We love the advancement, so they don't want to leave. They're trying to get the family here, but khalas, like, they're just settled. Because we've lived here our whole life, we don't realize the newcomers and how their experience is like. So when hearing it from a different person, it's like, yeah, that's so true, because it was made easy for us back then, but because we got used to it and it's been years, we tend to forget it a bit.
Yeah, I think the doors here are open based on employment and based on expertise and based on skill. I got my visa when I got a job. I was abroad, and they came, at the school network that I eventually got a job with, they held kind of open interviews. And then as soon as you got accepted for the job, they sorted out your visa. So at the time, I didn't realize what a coveted piece of paper that I was getting. I wasn't aware. And then I'm here and I'm like,
oh, God bless. Thank you.
Right. So those new visas, very, very interesting. If you've got friends abroad, send them that information. It is on the Lovin Dubai Instagram feed if you'd like to check it out. Let's jump into our next story. We're talking about schools in the UAE.
Abu Dhabi introduces new ethic codes for teachers with strict guidelines. So Abu Dhabi has introduced a new code of professional ethics for teachers, setting clear expectations for behavior in school and serious legal and administrative consequences for non-compliance. So the code is designed to protect students, staff, and the wider community while ensuring that respect, integrity, and professionalism remain at the heart of education.
Some of the newly outlined prohibitive behaviours include things that you should probably be aware of already, of course, discrimination and harassment based on religion, ethnicity, social status, age or gender, treating female employees unfairly due to pregnancy or maternity, promoting extremism, racism, bullying or indoctrination, or wearing attire considered immodest or culturally inappropriate.
Harassing colleagues, spreading false rumors, or damaging reputations, disclosing confidential information, or deliberately excluding colleagues, falsifying qualifications or work experience. So at the same time, the code highlights the importance of celebrating UAE national identity and cultural values and respecting diversity across school communities. So school leaders say that the aim is to make ethical conduct and everyday practice, not just in classrooms, but also dealing with colleagues, parents, and the wider community. So the new code provides a strong foundation to guide professional behavior across the ADIC-regulated institutions, reinforcing the message that education in Abu Dhabi must be rooted in integrity, respect, and accountability.
A lot of good reminders there. I feel like it's important that ADIC is reminding people that schools are rooted in, the culture of the UAE, and that's something important to uphold. And then that there will be hard lines on certain things, and ensuring there's just a fairness across the board.
Yes, because we tend to talk about bullying between students, bullying between the classroom, but we don't really think about is that there might be bullying in the teacher's room, or like discrimination between the teachers. And why do I know this? Because now I'm sure they've introduced stricter guidelines, and I'm sure there's more monitorship in terms of how the teachers are behaving. But I remember my PE teacher used to come up to, because we had that close relationship, used to come up to me and my friend, and she'd tell us about all the discrimination that she faced between the teachers. So they have, you think people grow out of that phase from school where they have certain cliques, but it still happens in the teacher's room. They have the cliques where they exclude teachers. They have that cliques where she was on a maternity leave. They would look down on her. They wouldn't give her updates because she was going on maternity leave.
What age were you when the teacher was telling you this?
I was 17. For me, I was like, oh, I'm getting the deeds into, but for her, she was just venting,
One side of it, lest we not sideline the facts that are there, which of course in workplaces.
But she's not supposed to share this with us.
There can be toxicity, and it's important for leadership and the people in charge of regulating that to step in and stop it.
100%.
She shouldn't have been sharing that with you.
She shouldn't be, no, 100%. I knew it. I knew it at that age.
That's poor behaviour on her part. It's unprofessional if you really think about it.
100%. No, I do.
The students should have one focus, and it's not bringing them into because schools can be toxic, and they can be difficult behaviours. I've been in staff rooms with teachers, and the negativity, and the
Facebook pages are negative enough.
Yeah, exactly, and you don't need to bring it to the 17-year-olds in your school. So
no, I knew it. At that age when she was venting to us, I knew it was wrong. I knew we were not supposed to know that, I felt like I knew too much, but still we were like, you know what?
You always wanted to know what was going on.
Yeah, I was like, I'm getting the deeds, who's the bad teacher after all? Who's the rude one,
And I think
I know all about
what we should learn from someone in a certain position telling us something is that there's always two sides to that story.
True. I was 17.
And then there's the truth.
So I had to side with someone because I was young, I didn't think clearly. I was like,
two sides of the truth. I always think that if someone's telling you a story, there's another side to it. Learnings for the day. Let's jump into a concert we are so excited for. David Gray is coming to Dubai. He is bringing his past and present tour to the Coca-Cola Arena on October 31st. You do not want to miss it.
So shout out to Live Nation Middle East for making this night happen. So if you've ever belted out Babylon on a road trip or had this year's Love on repeat during late night chill sessions, you know why this concert is a must.
Literally last night.
Yeah, really?
Babylon. This year's Love. Because before you go to your concert, you have to remind yourself, and Coca-Cola Arena, what an amazing venue to make this happen. With over 12 million albums sold, a Grammy nomination, and 2 Ivor Novello awards, David Gray isn't just a singer, he is the soundtrack to some of the very best moments in your life.
So the bottom line is, it's David Gray at the Coca-Cola Arena. One night only, October 31st. Get your tickets now before they're gone.
I had to. If you look at some of the videos next to us, he played Electric Picnic, which is a big Irish concert, and I'm super excited for this.
You have to be there.
Of course, I'm super excited for this. Tickets flying, get them ASAP. And also, by the way, Coca-Cola Arena as well has Stereophonics coming on the Wednesday of that week, so it is a huge month for music down there.
So many people coming in.
Buy your tickets from reputable ticket sellers. Coca-Cola Arena is where you can get them, and we say that because we're about to segue into another fraud network story. This one is about rent schemes in Sharjah.
13 were arrested in Sharjah over fake rent cyber fraud network. So Sharjah police have dismantled an organized cyber fraud network and arrested 13 Asian nationals accused of running a large-scale fake rent scam. So the group allegedly tricked victims through false property listing, staged meetings, and fraudulent contracts before stealing money and transferring it abroad. So investigations revealed the scam was being operated through 7 major centers.
Victims were lured in with attractive rental ads. They were then asked to pay small token amounts of cash, and then they even signed fake agreements only for the fraudsters to disappear and then cut them communication. Therefore, that cash was gone. The case came to light after a woman reported being scammed through a false apartment listing. Despite the suspects frequently changing phone numbers and other tactics to hide their tracks, Sharjah's police, shout out Sharjah's police, their digital monitoring and analytical expertise helped trace and arrest the gang, all members of the gang.
Colonel Omar Ahmed Boldazi, Director General of Criminal Security and Ports, explained that the suspects had clear roles within the network and praised the success of the operation as a result of advanced technology, skilled investigators, and strong leadership. So authorities are now urging residents to always verify real estate ads and the credibility of property owners on websites and social media before making any payments or signing contracts. They stress that community awareness is the first line of defense against such crimes.
Interesting. When you see a deal, I have my eye on an apartment at the moment. I'm not moving for months, but...
Are you planning on moving?
Eventually.
Okay, so like next...
It's for rental.
Okay.
Well, it's way beyond my budget, but the apartment I have my eye on is like a third less than all of the other apartments in the building.
Okay.
Do you think it's real?
No.
It's like...
but that's the thing, because I know...
It's a chunk less, yeah.
Because I know the prices will maybe fluctuate like up and down like in the following years. But what I know is now it's steady, it's the same. But
what I'm getting at is I just wonder if... So let's say...
Where did you see it? Is it a trustworthy site?
Well, this is the thing. So I've just opened Beirut, which is where I check. Yeah. And what I know, because I'm always on Beirut, is they have a true check system.
Yeah.
Which shows that this means that a broker has gone and checked the checked the home, checked all of the specs are in order, and then they even have a true broker system, which is they have verified that broker. So I just wonder with this story where the fake listings were, and are fake listings common on the reputable websites that I might use to check, or are they different websites? I don't know that.
I think this is what I think basically, because we just moved out recently. The only fake thing that you might get on reputable websites is just you'd go expecting a size and you see a different size. That's it. But prices, location, the broker, like the dealing with everything, it's 100% legitimate. But I think what they do here is they're targeting people that are new to this country. They don't know how the systems work. They don't know how strict the guidelines are, or they don't know what sites do they need to visit, and they target those people that are a bit,
maybe
oblivious.
Maybe Facebook listings.
Facebook listings, I feel, websites, or hiding behind like a fake company name. It can be like that.
And that is the interesting thing when you look at the different. There's probably about 5 to 10 real estate brokers that I could name. I could probably name about 5, and I've probably used all 5 in my time here, when you move back and forth. And probably you're more likely to go with a reputable name because you're concerned.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, and if I see... So I need to go back and check this dream apartment that I have my eye on. I don't think it has a true check. and I don't know the broker. So
you can go to check the location though. Like, but that's the thing. Some people will have fake meetings with you.
This is well, these guys. It was a complete farce in that they met the people, they gave them documents to sign, they took the small amount of cash, and then they went AWOL.
Yeah. I don't know, like the hassle of moving and finding houses is just so hard and so difficult. Do you go to one real estate agent all the time, or do you switch between them?
No, I do it on Beirut.
Yeah,
and
same.
We do
it through websites as well.
Yeah, and then you just kind of go from there. Let me just see.
Sometimes we do change it, even if we have the same, even if we're using the same website.
You do what?
We ask for a different agent sometimes.
Why?
Because, oh my God, you face different attitudes all the time, and some of them are not helpful. You know. Like they just refuse to show you proper listings or proper houses.
So you switch?
We always switch, all the time.
I feel like, interesting, like the real estate brokers, I think it's like the dream Dubai, and you can make your fortune here that you could probably send your kids through college in a month if what I see online is true, but it's also a on-the-ball type of job, and you need to really build up trust.
Super stressful.
I'm just checking the apartment that I was looking at, and it says it's been checked by a true broker.
Oh, okay, verified.
Interesting.
Verified.
Still can't afford it.
Okay, Monday.
Manifest at home. Manifest the slump that I may eventually be able to pay for an apartment in Dubai. However, speaking of paying for things, school fees are a hot topic, so we're excited to welcome our next guest. She is a mom in Dubai. Her name is Kanessa, and she does homeschooling. So with her, we're going to break down the myths, the costs, and daily life as a homeschooling family in Dubai. Do stay tuned. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. Have you seen those videos about rising tuition fees, school fees in Dubai, or parents debating whether they should homeschool or not? Well, we're talking to someone living it, Kanessa Muluneh. She's an entrepreneur and a mom who's chosen to homeschool her kids here in Dubai. And today she's going to share what that experience is like. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
First things first, you homeschool your kids at home. What sparked that decision?
So a lot of people assume it's financially, driven.
Yeah.
It's not. It wasn't for us, not yet though, because I just felt like I wanted to have more control over what my kids were learning and what they were doing. Yeah. And we are an entrepreneurial family and we travel a lot. And I noticed last year I left my kids at home a lot. Like I felt like they're not part of my journey. And I just looked for ways on how can I include them, because traveling is actually cool. You learn a lot. And I was, whenever we were able to travel, I was able to teach them on, a lot of life skills on how life worked outside there and, with different cultures. How do you negotiate? How do you speak to, people who don't speak your language? I felt like that was more useful in life. But the academics were useful too, so there was kind of a debate. And then I started looking for options, and I made it work through homeschooling.
Very interesting. We're so excited to kind of deep dive into this with you. So, so it's a relatively new decision. Did you face kind of maybe any pushback or doubts from family, friends, the school even? Like, was there anyone that made you doubt your decision when you made it?
I think it's natural to doubt it because I grew up in, the regular school system. My husband, same. We kind of feel like we're taking I have to emphasize on that. We feel like it's not the right decision simply because we don't know it. It's new. We're not familiar to it. But in reality, it's working. The kids are calmer, from what I notice. Like I said, we have control over what they learn. We add extra, things, classes, whatever we feel like is best, like learning how to manage your money, for example.
Amazing.
Simple thing.
So
it sounds simple, but it's so important. So they go to the shop, for example, we have a private teacher. So they go to the shop. She teaches them how to pay, what change is like, because they're quite young. Because they ask for a lot of things, and then you have to confront them like, okay, but you have to pay, and this is the amount of money that you have. How are you going to do that? So, little things like that, we added to the basic curriculum, I should say, the academic. So we have control, and just they are developing so fast all of a sudden. So it's I think emotion-wise, I'm still trying to adjust, but it's going well. It's heading in the right direction.
That's encouraging.
That's really good. Can you elaborate more? How does the process look like? So what time do they wake up? How many hours of the day do they have the homeschooling thing? Can you explain how the whole process looks like?
So this is where it gets, this is what we have to adjust, honestly, because you have so much freedom. And sometimes freedom is, it sounds cool, but the moment you have it, you have to do everything yourself. So this is where you doubt yourself, I guess. So just to elaborate, the kids are not home all day. So we chose to send them to, we call it a learning hub, meaning that there is a facility where they can go to socialize and just to follow the curriculum while they're there. But it's not mandatory. And that's where the flexibility and the freedom comes in.
Okay.
So we chose to send them twice a week each. So we have 2 homeschooling kids. So on Monday, Wednesday, one goes, I think it's Mali's turn, my daughter, and the other day Memphis goes. He's my son.
Yeah.
And on the day that Mali stays home, we have the private teacher who comes in and teaches her.
Yeah.
In our classroom, we have a classroom in our house, and this is the system that we chose. So they're not home all day. They still socialize, but they're still, they're also home. And when they're home, we actually, the teacher came in and she's like, "What time do you want to start?" I was like, "I don't know." Whenever you think is best. But she's like, "No, this is your decision." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh. Oh, okay." So you have to figure things out as you go. So they start at 9 a.m. at home.
Okay.
And then how did you decide on curriculum? And then does that curriculum match up with the Learning Hub curriculum? How does that
you
work?
have homeschooling schools, actually.
Okay.
Basically online schools. So they have a curriculum. In our case, it's an American curriculum. We always followed the British curriculum. So this also just, was a huge adjustment. But they follow a curriculum already. So it's an online school with a learning hub, which isn't mandatory. So we could be anywhere in the world and follow this curriculum. But the most important part is that they finish all their work in their school environment, which is online. So we follow that, but there's no strict timeline, like you have to be online at this time, you have to do this and this. You just have to, they work with deadlines, I should say.
Yeah.
So you have to finish your schoolwork by this date and time, and that's it.
Okay. They have strict deadlines, basically, as well.
The deadlines are strict, but it's like you have a lot of time to finish it.
And so you mentioned a learning hub and also a private teacher for 2 kids. So first of all, what age are your kids and how much is it costing per child per year, do you think? Do you know?
So the homeschooling, the school itself, meaning the online school, costs somewhere between 20 and 25,000 dirhams per year per child, which is
just for the school.
Just for the school.
Just for the online.
Yes, but including the learning hub. So you can also choose not to send them to the learning hub.
Okay.
Yeah.
Many kids, I think, don't even live in Dubai, so it's just online, and I think it's far less. But with the learning hub, 2 or 3 times a week, it's around 25.
25. And then the teacher as well?
So the teacher was our decision, simply because I felt like I don't have the patience to. I think
I used to teach. I get it.
Yeah, you used to teach. I think it's easier to teach someone else's child than your own because.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Have that, sympathy. It's like, oh.
Yeah, no, I really don't have that. I noticed that. Like, I don't, with my own kids at least, I didn't have the patience to explain twice. Well, I know that they understood, I think it's a mom thing, I don't know. But we hired a private teacher. She comes in 3.5 hours a day for 4 days. And believe it or not, that's more than enough because you compress all all classes basically in 3 hours, including breaks, and
amazing.
It's fine.
But if they're at home and they feel like they're in their safe zone, do you feel like they might get distracted a bit, like to go get a snack, to maybe get up and watch something?
That would be a fear, I think, if I wanted to homeschool my kids, that they would just be like, I'm just going to play PlayStation. I'd be like, okay.
Yeah. I'm tired as well. Go play.
And this is where the private teacher comes in. She disciplines them basically because she has those 3.5 hours and she has to finish the work in those 3.5 hours. So I don't think they ask her for PlayStation or anything.
They don't?
I don't know, honestly, because I try to keep my distance as well. I don't want to be like a helicopter mom, as they call it.
Yeah.
But I think she kind of knows, like, this is what needs to be done. And if they finish it, fine, go play your PlayStation, But if you don't, then there are consequences. Okay. We also try to be very modern in parenting because I'm not trying to limit screens too much because this is their future. It's not like I don't know how old you are. This is gonna get in danger zone now.
No. But we didn't grow up with screens as well.
Yeah, we grew up in a different time, and they grow up with AI, and I don't know. Everything is on a screen. So I try to guide them in a healthy. I don't know if that even exists.
Yeah, maybe
honestly,
adapting to like the new generation, basically. That maybe our parents struggle to adapt to as well.
And even more interesting, AI. I just mentioned AI. Somebody mentioned to me, like, do you want to teach them AI engineering? I said, I don't think I have a choice, but I don't know what it is, honestly.
Yeah.
But I do think I have to include AI. I have to teach them, like, okay, this is AI and this is real. Right. Like, you have to know the difference. But how do I teach? Sometimes I don't even know.
Yeah. Or believing like false information, like how to pinpoint it sometimes. Because we fall for fake AIs and it's just going to get more developed as they grow up. So maybe like spotting fake news, fake AI, fake videos.
And not just that, also, getting to like learn how to deal with social media. In our days, I know, I grew up in Holland, in Amsterdam, and a lot of girls and boys were affected by, how people reacted online. The feedback that you get online, the way people. I want to teach them, like, how people respond online is not the same as reality. You don't have to. It doesn't have to affect you. But how do you teach that? Because honestly, we never been through it. Nobody taught us. We learned along the way.
True, and we were a bit older as well when we were introduced with social media, I think.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, they understand it. They understand social media, but I don't think they understand the the consequence, I should say, or what could come out of it. Yeah. But I don't understand it either. So it's a generation gap, and especially, like I said, AI. But we have to teach them. Right, I don't want them to find out and. I don't know what
going to
it will happen. Yeah, I don't know what the effect will be on them.
Sure.
True.
And it's scary in a way.
the whole AI thing freaks me out.
Yeah.
For sure. But I wonder, because it's a relatively new decision for your family,
yes,
to homeschooling, what was the adjustment period like for your kids? Have they responded?
So in the beginning, Mali, my daughter, Mali Shea is her name, and we call her Mali. She kind of, still she says this to me, like she says, I miss my friends. I said, do you miss school or do you miss your friends? It's a difference. And she said, no, I want to see my friends at, and then she mentions her school. And I'm like, I can not help but feel guilty a little bit, because I feel like you take that away from her. But then again, it's new. She has friends at this learning hub.
True.
Yeah, she gets to know a lot of people. But it's hard as a parent because you feel like, oh, but I took that away from them. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think I understand where you're coming from, but I also think that you made the decision for their best interests.
Yes.
It's like we were talking about the international school trips last week, and it's like there's some schools in Dubai are suggesting they want to bring the 13-year-old grades to an international school trip, and some of the moms are like, it's too young, so they would feel that guilt for not letting their kids go. But at the same time, it's a decision made in the best interests as far as the parents' beliefs go.
Yeah. And, you know, so I said, I don't have the patience to teach, but I do teach them a little bit of what we know, what we do. So my husband is a finance professional. He's a tax accountant. So he basically knows everything about money management. I think we missed that.
Yeah, we did.
In the school curriculum.
For sure,
We don't have any, I mean, we learned along the way, but my husband was like, maybe we still don't know.
I don't know how to manage financially, honestly.
No, but he explains to them. It's so interesting because sometimes I just sit and learn as well. He teaches them like how banks work, you know, how loans work, and he teaches them by, you know, it's like, for example, just to give you an example, I teach them how marketing works because that's what I do, and I teach them like you have to promote your product if you want people, you know, to know and how that works. And then they're like, okay, but I want a product to sell. I said, okay, we can work on that, but you need money for that. Yeah, but how do I get money? And then they go to their dad and he basically gives them these loans and he actually makes them sign, you know, like saying like, okay, but you have to give me back this money by then and then. Otherwise, these are the consequences. And of course, they don't fully understand, but he makes them sign and he actually reminds them every time, like, do you know that this will happen if you... Okay.
What business do they want to start with their money from the loan?
Mali said she wants to start selling napkins.
Okay.
Yeah, because she saw them at restaurants and they were plain white and she said, that's boring. I said, okay, change something.
Fact, you know that.
Yeah.
And she actually has a whole name for it and she's like, because... she asked what is...
I see it, Mali. I see it. As
okay, let's go, Mali.
I do.
No, she says, she asked me, what is this? I said, it's a napkin for your lap. And she said, so it's a lap nap? I said, yes. It's a lap nap. And why are they white and boring? I said, I don't know. So you can change it if you want.
Why are they white and boring? It's so true. Like,
I never thought about it. I said, go for it. So now she needs money for lap naps.
A lap nap. If anyone's looking for a...
Lap nap, Mali will bring it to you soon.
I want pink ones.
If anyone wants to invest in a startup, we've got it. Okay.
Yeah, her dad knows how to do it. So. And Memphis wants hoodies. Yeah.
Ooh, nice. Yeah.
Competitive.
No, he's into maths and science and everything I'm not into. So he wants hoodies because he feels like hoodies are boring as well, apparently. So he wants hoodies with maths equations on it.
Okay. Cool. Alternative.
Well, best of luck to those two.
I might learn as well while he wears.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
You mentioned that you might feel guilty taking them out of a normal schooling system because of maybe socializing. This is what a lot of parents might be hesitant about because they think sending them to schools will have them learn that, you know, how to socialize, how to get out of your comfort zone. But do you think that they may be struggling a bit, or maybe they're becoming a bit too comfortable surrounding themselves around with you, the parents, their siblings, or they still get that experience of communicating and socializing with other people?
So our kids still go to after-school activities. They still have activities that they do in order to get to know other kids. But I do understand the concern. And the big difference with schools, with traditional school, sending them to traditional school, is that you don't have to think about that aspect. Now I have to make an effort myself. And I think that's what scares parents in a way, which I understand, because we're already busy. So much is expected from us already. Why add that to my plate while there is already a system? So I get it. But I think on the long run, I do think this is best, simply because I know where my kids are all day and what they're influenced by. Especially Memphis, he really struggled with communication, finding that his way of, communicating with others, because he's not really the best at that. And he calls himself actually a nerd, because he thinks it's a good word. It's like cool to be a nerd. I'm like, okay, that's different from my era, but okay, let's go with that. But he's like, yeah, other people don't understand my equations, so they're stupid. I'm like, no, ma'am, that's not the way you communicate with others. You cannot say that. Yeah, but they don't know the answer to 1025 times, 365. I don't know either.
Does he know this?
Yes, he knows that.
Wow.
Yeah, because in his free time, in his spare time, he just does equations all day. So he's a mad genius, but you cannot expect others to be the same. So, these little things are sorted when you're homeschooling. You homeschool and you have extra activities that you go through with the similar, like-minded people. So, yeah, it pros and cons.
Yeah, pros and cons.
Pros and cons. And look, you mentioned at the beginning of this interview that it wasn't a financial decision for your family. However, school fees in Dubai and the price of them is a big topic. And I think people are actually looking more towards homeschooling. So you sharing your story at this moment is very interesting to people. And I just wonder, before you leave us, would you have any piece of advice that you would give to parents in Dubai who are considering homeschooling but afraid to take the next step?
The socializing aspect, you will figure it out. It takes time, but you will figure it out, because there's a lot to do for kids, in Dubai at least. But I think anywhere in the world, you just have to make that effort. And in terms of school fees, I understand, honestly. Yeah. I understand. Our structure is not the cheapest, so private teacher and such is quite expensive, I would say. But what you can do, for example, is hire a teacher and maybe find other homeschooling kids in the area and, create a group with maybe 3-4 kids that will, make it digestible. And you still get the same quality, honestly, because one teacher with 4 or 5 kids is still good, I would say. So there are middle grounds. You just have to put in the effort yourself and figure it out yourself. But it doesn't mean it's wrong. And you don't have to look for the justification, if that makes sense. So nobody has to give you green light or red light, but you just have to look at your kids. Are they developing? Are they doing well? What are they missing? Every element can be added. But in return, you get so much freedom. You can do whatever you want. You can even wake up whenever you want, although I wouldn't advise that. Just keep a limit. So in our case, we start at 9 a.m., which is still late.
There's no commute. I mean,
there's no. Yes, I forgot about that.
Oh God!
But it's a genuine thing for parents in Dubai. Their kids are getting up at 5 a.m. They're getting on a bus at 6. They're on a bus for an hour and a half. Like the commute is a big.
Yes,
issue
I forgot
for
about
some,
that.
for some
Yes.
parents here.
So we still have that to the learning hub if we feel like going. And lately, I am kind of doubting whether it's a good decision or not, because going there, it's near the Palm. It's a challenge.
Oh no, the traffic in the morning is.
Yeah, and it's just we lose. That's the only moment I feel as a parent where I want to be present. Because they get picked up by their nanny and everything else. They have their own schedules. So I really want the drop-off moment, I really want to be there for them and with them. But it takes me 2 hours. 2 whole hours to get there and then get out and get my coffee also. Somewhere in between. It's just a lot of time.
It is a lot.
Wasted.
Well, thank you for sharing your experience with us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Asa.
Thank you, Casey.
And that is the end of the Lovin Dubai show on this Tuesday morning. We're back with you every single weekday morning, same time, same place. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.
Bye.